best surprise birthday present ever. I mean, when I heard, oh my gosh, Tory, this is my roommate, Rachel, God love her, sweetheart, didn't think she was actually capable of lying, was like, oh my God, Tory, you have to come to the Arboretum because, oh my God, like, just something really terrible is happening, you need to come up. And so I was like, okay, and she's like, come on, you need to run. And I was like, okay. So I figured, yeah, okay, she's being date raped or something. I better go, beat the shit out of someone. Do I have enough time to grab a brick or another bludgeoning instrument? No. So I just kind of ran, and then like, oh my gosh, you were there. And it was like, ah! And you're like, ah! And it was like, no. And so then we like, cried and like hugged, and oh my God, it was amazing. And yeah, you're one tricksy little hobbit who isn't a hobbit. Rachel's one tricksy little hobbit because no matter what she says, she is a hobbit. 100% hobbit. Hobbit-like, hobbiton, hobbit. Thank you again so much for coming and surprising me, because, like, I'm still on a little happy high from that. And, yeah, like, that little song that we came up with, that we sang to the squirrels, yeah, every time I run into a squirrel, I start singing this song. I'm like walking along, like half run into a squirrel because they're all cheeky little buggers who don't know how to get out of your way, even though you're a human. They're supposed to be afraid of you. They're just kind of like, psh, they won't do anything. And so yeah, so every time I run into one, I have to like stop and serenade it with the little squirrel song, which gets some weird looks from people. Like, you think they'd be used to me stopping and like randomly singing about stuff already, but apparently doing it in Russian with like 3 notes. Yeah, but still, you came and you saw me, and that makes me happy and joyous, and you'll be glad to know that the presents you gave me are going to good use. The brooch that you gave me, obviously, I wear it because that's what you do with brooches. And the blue tights, oh yeah. Just trying to find enough clothing that I can wear that with. But I will come up with something. I always do. Hang on a second. I'm going to put my hair back. And, what else do you mean? Oh, yeah, the little Post-it notes. They're all hanging up on my bulletin board. As are some of the salvage newspaper clips. I think it's so cute that you actually like, wrapped all my presents in newspaper, which for most people, and for you too, is probably like, hey, I'm a broken, cheap college student. But for you, like, I know that there's also the added, like, I'm a broken, cheap college student, but my friend writes for the newspaper and she really loves it, so I'm going to use newspapers to wrap her birthday presents, because it's happy. But also, this little thing that you gave me, the, Scarlet Pimpernel, made in England, trivet coffee pot holder thing, which is beautimous, by the way, and matches everything else that I own, because it has some blue and some red and some green, and doesn't actually match anything else that I own. But it's perfectly, because all the time I'm sitting at my desk, or at other desks, like throughout campus, or wherever, I'm sitting there, generally I'm sucking down a bunch of tea. In this monster, which is supposed to be used for, like, soup, but, because I'm a cheap, broke college student, too, I'm like, buy a bowl and buy a mug. No, I'm going to buy a bowl that I can use a mug, or a mug that I can use a bowl. I still don't know which one. But as a result, I get like 4 cups of tea instead of the average 1, which is really nice, because tea keeps me awake and functioning, and that's about it. And so, yeah, I'll be like sitting there, and I'm used to getting these like awful tea rings on everything, like my desk, my papers, stuff like that. I actually turned in a philosophy assignment with like this big tea ring in the corner, which I didn't really notice. But that's okay. I think that the professor just thinks I'm a sleep-deprived nutcase in the 3rd row to the far left who just doesn't talk a lot. But I'm fine with that. Anyway, so this thing has kept me from getting tea rings on assignments, because I'm like, whoop, and then like, whoop, and it's like, oh, and it works out really well. And it makes me happy. Because you make me happy, and it reminds me of you. Yeah, so thank you so much, again, for coming, and for surprising me like that, because, I mean, I don't get surprised. I mean, you've known me for, like, what, 6, 7 years? Okay, we've been friends for, like, 6 years. You've known me for even longer than that, though. I don't get surprised. I don't. Like, maybe there'll be one birthday present that I'm not positive exactly what it is, but in general, I don't get surprised. and you totally surprised me. I was kind of confused in a state of shock until you finally just went over and hugged me. I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Because that's the sound that my soul makes when I'm surprised. Because it doesn't happen often. So whenever my soul's surprised, it's also confused. Yeah. But I'm okay with that if it means you're coming down to middle of nowhere, Michigan to see me. And now we found the magical bus line that we can use, and I can actually see you in the future, even though if this is America and you live like here, and I live like here and here and here, and while you live here, this is the only place where we ever like lived together at the same time, and so it's like, nah. So finally we have bus routes, because bus routes are magical things that will probably get us through the next 4 years, besides these little video things, because it's like, I need to see your face. Okay, I'll go look at your face on YouTube. I'm already missing you, and already flipping through my schedule, trying to figure out plausible times for me to come to Chicago. Because first of all, it's Chicago. Like, that's an actual city. I'm like middle of nowhere. Like, if I go somewhere and they have a Target as well as a Walmart, my thought is like, ooh, metropolis. So, yeah, that would kind of make my heart overflow with joy. At the very least, I'm coming to see you while you're there this summer. Yeah. Okay, so I love you. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again. If you can tell, I'm still on my little I got to see Christina high. So I love you. Bye.